Basically, we did a report last year with Info Trends which looked at the future of web to print, and we said, what is it that is driving web to print? And there was clearly a need for it, there was clearly an opportunity, but the thing that came out of the report was it wasn't being implemented because of the skills availability in the print service providers. They didn't have the skills or knowledge to be able to implement it. At that point we said it would be really good if we could get an insight into what is going on in the industry, the other issues, what drives the print buyers' decision making, what drives the print service providers' business strategy. We approached Frank Romano because he's well respected, of course, in the industry, and he would give an independent authority to the report. So we commissioned it and he did it with completely his own reporting. It was print service providers, so it was commercial print, copy shops, quick printers, but there were also print buyers involved as well. If you break it down into kind of three areas, the challenges that are going on at the moment, 2020 is a big year, yeah? 2020 will be the year that the changes become evident in the industry. Digital will grow its revenue in commercial printers. The share of revenue coming off digital and digital services will grow rapidly. And that will probably level off in about 2020. That was what the report was suggesting. But about a third of the business will be offset and the rest of it will be digital or services. There were major challenges around the amount of people employed in companies. Obviously they're trying to run low cost. The really big statistic that got us was that nearly 90% of all the people surveyed said that their costs were rising faster than their revenue right now. So competitiveness was a major challenge for them, as well as cost management. From there were clear opportunities. It wasn't all doom and gloom, there was clear opportunities in the report. Digital showed that if you looked at the profitability of anyone with digital in the last year had increased in about 80 to 90% of the users surveyed. Yeah? There was a clear distinction between the quality perceptions required to meet demands of print buyers. So 76% of print buyers said they think the quality of digital is acceptable. Only 67% of print service providers said the same. The interesting thing from the report was that the small printer would grow. There would be so-called rebirth of a small printer who hasn't got offset, it's digital only. And about 70% of the people said they can no longer continue to do things in the same way. And the same way refers to driving cost and driving efficiency. But they need help. And 87% of the people said, we need help in our business development, and we expect that help from our long-term partners, people like us, our supplier partners, yeah? And it was clear there was a lack of long-term vision and strategy on the training requirements in companies, and generally across the industry. But something we've seen is you can't have a training vision and strategy until you know where your company's going. So the discussion was then about how do we help people do that, and Business Builder came in then, which is a program we run, which is down-to-earth, simple, pragmatic sales and marketing advice delivered by third-party consultants. Yeah? And it helps them understand, helps print service providers see new opportunities in their business. What this report wasn't doing was saying that the businesses are old and it's wrong. It wasn't saying that. It was saying you've all run efficient businesses, it's in a tough climate, but there are new opportunities for you. And we recognise there is a need for help, and Canon is in a position to do that. But it was very interesting to see some of this data where 70% of people think they need to do things differently. It was good to see that there was a change coming in the industry, that people were saying, I do need to move. If you look at our Canon stand here at Drupa, when you walk on, it isn't technology driven, it's driven by customer opportunity. So we have a thing called Path to Profit right down the middle of the stand. And on there are applications and examples of how people can grow their business. Canon will do much more applications focused. To us, the volume of print is still so substantial. If you look at the actual volume of print that's done digitally in Western Europe at the moment, it's 15% roughly. That's not our data, that's independent third-party data. It's roughly 15%. So the move over to digital is is still a long way to go yet before there's any other change in the industry. The industry has a huge element of technology driving it forward, and Canon, among others, invests huge amounts of money. We invest 8% of our turnover every year in technology. That makes us possible to support our customers in growing their business through technology. I don't think that that's everything though, and Canon deliberately commissioned this report to show that actually the technology is there, it's possible to do it now, but what needs to happen first is people need to understand how they can grow their business. Because to say just put a digital press in or just become a business communication service provider, you can't do that. They need help to understand the implications, the opportunities, how do I train my people, what's all the internal issues. And for me, if talking about the business issues of the customer is what everybody should be doing. The CRD has had a changing environment, whether they're competing with external suppliers or whether some of the volume is the jobs that they're getting will become more complex, because the CRD, the internal print room, will naturally produce more added value. That will be their position in the future, we're looking at some of our large format printers are being sold into corporate environments, in offices. Why? Because people are printing big project sheets out that are this big and you can't get them on an A3 bed of a multifunctional device. You need a big wide format machine. That's not an application that has been able to be done in a corporate environment before, but that will happen. What will happen for the print for pay environment is they will move to more added value work. They will do variable data printing. They will offer corporate users the chance to put their jobs straight into the print workflow using web to print or such. They will do photo books. They will do marketing campaigns, cross media, all those kind of things that cannot be done in an office environment because you need expertise in marketing. It's a service driven offering then. The average turnaround is now 24 hours. What will happen is that the commercial print environment, the print for pay, will need to add more complex jobs, and that's what the report talks about. The value will be driven from complexity. To understand the customer's business and talk to them in customer language and what affects them is what really matters.